My name is Tim Kamanin, and today I want to tell you about optimizing Drupal performance. Well, at first I would like to congratulate the whole team of DrupalCamp Wrocław for organizing such an event here in Poland. And of course I want to congratulate all of yours for your survival skills. So you are here. We have almost 5 p.m. and you are still here, so great. And I want to thank everyone for leaving your votes for my session. It turned out that my session gathered the most number of votes, so thank you very much. And I want to pass regards to the Drupal Tree Master group. Please wave your hands. So yeah, we are here. So okay, let's start. A few words about me. My name is, as I told, Tim Kamanin, and I'm a freelance Drupal consultant. I started working with Drupal since in 2006, and mainly what I do is I help people create great websites using Drupal, and in most cases I help Drupal shops to solve complex problems. So when Drupal developers don't know how to solve problems, they call me and I help them, and we resolve some complex problem with Drupal. Well, I share my Drupal knowledge at my blog called timonweb.com. Maybe some of you read some articles written by me. I'm also co-founder of Drupal Tree Master user group. And I launched DrupalCamp.org, the Drupal snippets repository website. Have anyone heard about this website? Please wave your hands. Great. So everyone has account there? Yes, great. So if you don't have account there, so just go and register, because if you are a Drupal developer and you don't have an account at DrupalCamp, so you are just, well, you are on a sidewalk, because this is a place where people store their Drupal snippets, share their Drupal snippets, and really, you know, just by going to this website, you can find so many cool tricks in Drupal. So just really try it. Yeah. So why this topic? Why me? To be honest with you, sometimes I hate Drupal because it's kind of slow. And I tried to cheat on Drupal with Ruby on Rails, with Django, with lots of different technologies, because I thought that they're less bloated and I could use them, and my sites would run faster. But unfortunately, only Drupal gives you so much functions built in, lots of crazy stuff already coded for you. You can go to Drupal.org, just find the model, and you know, in 90% of time, the model just solves your problem. You don't spend time on writing a lot of code. So all the time I was going back to Drupal, and just my main problem and my main task was to make Drupal run fast, just like that. Because this was the only thing I didn't like so much in Drupal. I mean, so, and I started to specialize in Drupal performance. And, well, there are two meanings, I mean, two words, performance and scalability. And people very often mix these understandings. By performance, I mean the speed of page load, of page generation, and the whole resource usage of the server of the website. And scalability is the possibility to handle as much as users as possible, and that doesn't mean that this should be fast. So today we are talking about performance, about how to make your Drupal less greed to resources, and how to make it work a bit faster. So, well, why do we care about this? Because actually performance is love and money. Why? Because people love fast sites, Google rank fast sites higher. If people like fast sites, they come back to your website. If Google sees that your website is fast, he puts it above your competitors. So more users, more money, profit. So really, you should have fast sites. This is very important nowadays, really. But as I told, the horrible truth about Drupal is that it's not kitty, but yeah, it's just like a turtle sometimes. And you know, why that? Because Drupal database intensive, memory intensive, and uses lots of resources. And why this happens? Just, oh, I need to use that. Okay. Because by using Drupal, we are doing full page requests when we don't need to do that. We are serving dynamic content to anonymous users. So we have slow, curious, and you know, the biggest problem, we install so much models. It's like, you know, this problem of open buffet syndrome. When you come to the hotel in the morning, have a breakfast, and you have so much food, and you want to eat that, and you just can't stand up. So the same thing happens with Drupal developers. Well, we install lots of different stuff. Just I've seen sites with 200 modules enabled, 300, and it is normal in most cases. I mean normal that this is very common. And well, the more modules you have, the slower your site. Because on every request, Drupal checks all the code, loads all the code, and just like that. And site consumes more resources and runs slower. So this is a typical Drupal stack. In most cases, everything is based on Linux. We have Apache, MySQL, PHP, Drupal, and on top we have CSS, JavaScript, and media. And actually, every of these blocks can be optimized. We can just, yeah, everything can be optimized. And today, I want to give you some tips and tricks. I want you to take something useful from our meeting. Just, I created a list of simple steps which you should implement to make your website faster. Or you could verify if your project already answers to these requirements. So maybe some of you have a project which has all of this built in. So, Drupal performance tips and tricks. First trick is know the tools. Well, we need a way to understand that our site is slow. Well, it's not enough to open a page and sitting waiting, okay, I guess fast, I don't know, maybe it's slow. So we need some tools to measure, so to understand, is it slow, is it normal? And one of the most important tools in Drupal is a devel module. If you are doing Drupal development and never heard of this module, don't tell anyone, just go quietly, download this module and see what it does, but don't tell anyone that you don't know. Well, but I will tell you that devel is a great model which lets you to output the whole log of SQL queries. It will show you how much memory your web page consumes and how fast is your page load time. The second great tool, well, it's built in every modern browser, even Internet Explorer now has this. It's called like developer tools, and it helps you to understand how fast your site is on front end. It will show you all requests, all CSS loads, all GS loads, images and stuff, and it will show you how much time did it take to just load some stuff. So, and Lots of other tools. Pingdom, same thing. YSlow, the very cool tool where you can just enter your domain and it will give you some simple tips and tricks. Will grade your website and will tell you, okay, you got 80 points of 100 and just you should do that to get 100 points. So Apache Benchmark, this is a very cool command line tool. We use it to test our website for a stress load, how many requests can it survive and how fast it will load the page. XH Profile, a very good, very great profiling tool. You can see your function calls, how many time did it take to load your page, which functions are being called, and blah, blah, blah. Very powerful tool, but this is not the topic of our meeting. Top and HTOP will show the processes of your server. So how many memory, which processes are run and stuff. New Relic is a very cool web service. Does anyone use New Relic? Okay, great. So MyTop to monitor your MySQL. PHPMyAdmin is has a very great tool in the latest version. You can go, it will analyze your logs and will give you some advices, what you should do to make your MySQL perform better. So just download the latest version and see. And lots more different tools. But these are, I think that these are the most important. So the second tip from me is to limit number of installed models, as I told you, to fight this open buffet syndrome. Just, well, when you're applying your website, just think about, maybe you could go away without installing another model. Maybe you could write a function in your glue model, in your custom model, just to do something, and you don't have to install other model. Why? Because, as I told, on every request, Drupal loads all enabled modules, and you really don't want this to happen. The third tip is always check what installed modules are doing behind the scenes, because sometimes you can install the module and it will do the crazy thing. It will generate lots of not needed processes and stuff, and you just don't want this model to do this. So the most obvious way to do that is to install Devel, enable SQL log, and to see what's happening. For example, I will show you one thing which you can just try and check on your website. This is a dev version of JobBucket of the website I told you. And we will use this dev version just like an example how we can improve the whole performance. So, for example, let's open some taxonomy page, and really this tip you can use right now on your project if you are using standard taxonomy term view, which taxonomy term slash wildcard. So, I will explain you. Oh, wait a second, because I guess my battery is going down and I forgot to connect to the. Could you help me? Okay, thank you. Okay, going back to, yeah, okay. So we loaded this taxonomy page, and let's look at the Devel log. We see that we have all full 222 queries for this page load. Let's scroll down, and we see the list of functions which produce these queries. And here yeah, do you see that? Views, plugin, argument, validate taxonomy. We had lots of these queries. What's that? So, by default, this is a taxonomy argument validation enabled in all taxonomy views, and it produces additional query which validates your taxonomy ID if it exists. But let's think, do we need that actually? Just, I don't care if some taxonomy ID is invalid, just I don't care. So we're just going to this standard view, disable this specify validation criteria, click on apply, save. Go back, let's do a refresh. And so we just lost 52 queries, just like that. And you can do this right now on your project. I'm pretty much sure if you have standard taxonomy view, you have this problem and this validation enabled. So yeah, this is the meaning of look what enabled modules are doing behind the scenes, because this is very important. Okay, going back to our presentation. And I guess I lost. Okay. Oh, it doesn't work. Come on. Okay, is it comfortable to see the text here? Just because, I don't know, just I don't use Linux day by day, but just for servers, today I decided to be a more open source, you know, in a more open source style, and this bite me. Okay, great. So the tip number 4: develop modules with performance in mind. So when you code your own module, you should use these great tools provided by Drupal, like Drupal static caching, just like using internal Drupal cache. And one of the most important things is to split your module. Just you should split UI part, admin part, page part in different files. Because I told you that Drupal loads all files on every request, but it loads everything what's in your module name, that module. So you really want to have this file as slim as possible, and to put all UI and stuff in separate files. For example, like it's down here. You see here, we have admin interface, and when we request this URL, we load the code in this file. So this code in this file is not loaded on every request, only when user requests this address. So this is a very good technique, and you really should use that. Also, when you are doing your modules, think about where can you use excellent Drupal Ajax framework. This is built in, just lots of docs on a Drupal org, and it helps in performance when you don't have to reload the whole page. You can reload the part of the page, so you can save on resources. So just wise to time from time to think about that. And of course, use Drupal API. Don't write your own functions which do the same what Drupal API functions do, because, well, they are there, these functions, they are already written and they are optimized, for sure, just like that. So the second tip is enable CSS and JavaScript aggregation. I think that everyone does this, so this is pretty obvious tip, but sometimes I see websites where CSS and JavaScript is not aggregated, and you can even see the list of modules installed on this website. So this is pretty obvious tip, but just remember about that. Just check it on your website. Maybe you forgot to enable. And cache PHP with APC. Of course, you could. There are lots of, well, what's APC? Who knows what APC is? Okay, APC is opcode cache optimizer, and what it does. So, well, PHP is a dynamic language. It's not CSS or Java stuff. It's not compiled. So, every time you request a page, all is being calculated. So what APC does, it compiles your code, and when you request a page, it just sends this bytecode already compiled to the server, to the processor, and it works, and you just skip this level, this part of the bootstrap. So it works great in PHP 5.5. We have cache optimizer enabled by default, embedded by default. It's disabled by default, but it's there. You don't need even to install it. Just enable it in your settings. Well, 5.5 is very fresh. It's not even production ready. So if you have 5.3 or 5.4, just install APC, and I will show you how greatly it works. It helps you to save memory resources and processor resources, and your code will run much faster. So let's do a simple test. Okay, this is a front page, and I have APC disabled on the server. And as you see here, it doesn't work. As you see here, we spent 577 milliseconds to generate the page. So now let's enable APC. Just like that, because I have everything pre-installed. I don't want you to, to torture your with installation or something. So you can figure this out by yourself. It's very easy. Oh, okay. We need to restart the server, and now we have APC enabled. Let's do one pre-cache request, and now let's do another one. So, as you see, now we spent 351 milliseconds to generate the page. So, quick win. You need just to install one module, and cool. But this is not a module for Drupal. This is a module for Apache. Okay, so just use APC. It will give you a great win, and yeah, great thing, really. Just go with it. Well, another tip is export views and panels to code, because when you have clicked out your views and you configured everything, it records data in database and stores this PHP code in database. This is not good. You can't optimize this code with APC if it's in database. So you need to export it in code and just omit the database and have a profit from optimization from APC, and that's great. So another tip is enable fast for 100.04. What's that? So for example, when we have some image on our page, or some page node, image or CSS or GS file, and we don't have this file on the system, like that, for example. Drupal will return us the Drupal page. So it will bootstrap the whole process, use resources, and show you this not found page. The worst thing is that when you have some unavailable files on your server and it can't find it, it can fire 7, 10 pages per one request on your website, and it will of course eat resources. So really you want to use this fast for 104. In Drupal 6 you had to install some module. In Drupal 7 everything is installed and configured for you by default. You just need to enable it because it's not enabled by default. You just need to go to settings PHP, go down there, and what we have? Yeah, we have this Drupal Fast 404. just save it. Here you have settings. You can tweak them as you want, but just leave everything as is. And now we have our unavailable file. Where's that? Just gone. Okay, no problem. Okay, just, oh shit. Okay, something that, let me check what's wrong here. I guess it's because cached by the server. What? No, yeah, this image, just, I don't know, well, it worked, just, okay, forget it. We won't spend time on this, just, what? Yes! Yes! If you have a problem, yeah, one of the tips, just development tips, I forgot about that. If you have a problem, clear that fucking cache, just like that, and it will work, really, because, you know, Drupal caches so much, it's just, it still caches. Ah! No doubt. What? No, I want to make page unavailable, just like that. Page not found, you know. Huh? APC is on. Caching? It's possible, yeah. Okay, forget it. Just, it works, believe me, you try on your project and just forget it. Just, okay, let's move on. Yeah. Just going back to this cache problem, just remember that cache saves the cache, because you really want to cache everything on your server. Because, well, for anonymous users, you don't have to go through this whole bootstrap process. Why? Just nothing is changing on your website. You can show them the static version of your website, and cache helps you to do that. Well, the problem is more complex with authenticated users. You can't give them static page because just because, well, every authenticated user can have some personal content, his username in the panel, I don't know, personal blocks, content, stuff, lots of things. So, well, with anonymous users, everything is pretty straightforward. You just enable cache, you enable page cache and page compression. So just by default, page cache is built in Drupal. Who uses page cache in Drupal by default? Raise your hands. What about the rest? What are you doing? Okay, so I will show you. Okay, great. So I will show you the effect of using cache. So at first, let's use this Apache benchmark tool and bombard our website. Well, Apache benchmark. Who used Apache benchmark? Okay, great. I will tell the rest. Yes, this is a very simple tool to check how your website can survive some load, and we can bombard our website, and we can, for example, here we are sending 10 concurrent users to our website, and we want to make 500 requests. So right now, 10 bots will go to my website, bombard it, and measure the time and stuff. So, okay, right now, wait a second. Okay. I need to check if I have cache disabled, because I wanted to show you at first how things are bad with cache disabled. But yeah, because I'm a performance maniac, I have the cache always enabled, so just sorry. Okay, going back. Okay, so let's bombard it. No, let's bombard it. How much? No, works bad. Okay. I guess I forgot to disable one of the models. I wanted to show you now. Okay, that's strange. Okay, in any case, just something wrong. What? Yeah, just, okay, let's clear the cache, but Well, it works like I have a varnish or something enabled. I'm surprised. What? Yes, yeah, it works like as fast as. Okay, something just plain wrong here. But if you don't have cache enabled, you have, well, on my laptop you will get some 5 requests per second, so this is not good. When you enable cache, you will get something about 25 requests per second. But now I have cache enabled with varnish. I enabled varnish. I will tell you about varnish later. And as you see here, we have 4,700 requests per second. So our server with varnish enabled can survive such a load. He can just survive this load, 4,000 requests. That means that just, for example, if our page takes 11 requests to load all images, stuff, blah, 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 we can survive 400 users at a time. So this is pretty cool. And you get this almost for free just by enabling, internal cache in Drupal and installing Boost or Varnish. Because Boost and Varnish, they're more or less similar in effect, but Boost works with the file system and doesn't need any complex configuration. This is a module for Drupal. And Varnish, this is a proxy reverse cache, and it needs some configuration and holds all copies of your pages in the memory. So just it checks cache. If the page is in the cache, it gives you back this page. If not, it will ask Drupal to prepare this page, cache it, show it to you, and will give cache to another visitor. So pretty cool thing. Well, as I told, with anonymous users, everything is fine. The biggest problem is with authorized users. And to make things easier, we can enable built-in cache in views. So views can cache their query results, and they can cache render output. So we can cache both or either of them. And block caching is also a very cool thing, and it works for authorized users. You can enable and cache results some block outputs. So yes, so it won't require lots of resources. There is a module called alt cache for Drupal. It works with, it caches pages for authorized users, but this is really, well, you need to be a more or less experienced user and developer to configure your system with this alt cache. You need to understand that there can be problems with modules installed and your configuration. You need to be ready for surprises when you use alt cache. And the next cool technology is called Edge Server Includes. This is going to be a massive improvement in Drupal 8, because Drupal 8 will support this technology by default. And for Drupal 7 we can install module and also we will have some hassle configuring this stuff, but it works great. It works great with Varnish. So it works the way: authorized user logs in your website, Varnish gives this static page, he gives to every anonymous user, and then ESI loads personalized blocks. So at first you show static page, and then you just load up personalized blocks. So you spend resources only to prepare blocks for a user and show them to the user. This technology is very much used with pretty any high-load project. Just Facebook uses ESI, and well, it wouldn't survive without it. Store cache in memory. Well, you really want to install Memcached or Redis. There are two great technologies. I will show you why. So, for example, right now, if we will look at our front page or any page and we look at this devel log, we will see that we're generating lots of queries. And I mean, half, even more of this is what just, yeah, half or more of these queries. Now we have 163 queries, and you see the Drupal database cache, Drupal database cache, everything is Drupal database cache. Drupal by default handles cache in database, but we want to take this load of database and put this load on Redis shoulders or Memcached shoulders. So Memcached and Redis, they store their memories in, caches in memory, because cache is not very important data. So if you will reload your server, nothing will happen. It will just lose the cache. So yes, and the last thing you want is to read cache from database or yes. No, this is not a database. Yeah, Redis is a database. This is key valued store. This, yeah, and you have a key, and you have very fast access to the data because you need to query only by the key. And you store data in memory. You don't read it from the disk. So this is super fast. No, this key value store. NoSQL is a database. It's no. Redis is not NoSQL. Redis is a key value store. Yes. Redis can be used to store persistent data. Yes, it can be used. But in most cases, Redis is used for storing cache, for storing some statistics data. You can use Redis to build a counter because it has fast writes and reads, and you can persist data every 5 minutes, for example, on the disk. So nothing will happen if you will lose statistics for last 5 minutes if you are not I don't know, a stock exchange or something. So, okay, the next tip is, well, we are going to our database because, well, Drupal is massively heavy on database. Wow, you've seen that. When developers from other technologies look at my SQL log and they told me, what? 200 queries to generate a page? Are you insane? This is impossible. What's happening? And really, well, I don't know how to build a project with 5 SQL queries on a page when you need to pull lots of data, prepare some personalized data, handle sessions, handle some stuff. It's impossible. And Drupal, it's not because Drupal developers are stupid and it generates 200 queries per page. It's just like that. This is how the real world works. And that's why you should strive to use cache as often as possible. And if you can tune your SQL, you should do that, just like that. And you do that by using lots of tools I told you. You can use phpMadmin, you can use MyTop, you can use MySQL slow query logs. You can find slow queries by looking at devel. So for example, here at devel we have query time for every of the queries, and it kindly shows us slow queries by highlighting them in red. I don't have any of them, but just try it on your project and for sure you will see them. And you can put explain in front of your SQL query. Just it won't work, I know, yes. But just you can put the word explain in front of your SQL query and it will show you which indexes it uses, how many tables it joins, and is it a simple query or complex and stuff. So just use this simple tool. And of course, you want to tune your MySQL. If you are not on shared hosting, you should have an access to your myCNF file, where you can set. It has lots of different settings, really. There are people who called database administrator. Yes, yes. Okay. I should go back. Okay. Yes, of course. Sorry? Well, if you see that there is a query which provides a problem for you, then yes, but don't do premature optimization. You should run in front of the car. If you have a problem, if you have a query which makes you a problem, rewrite it. If there is a query produced by views, you can use hook views query alter and just to change things. Or you could just throw away views and write your own view just from scratch. So it's up. Everything depends on a project, on a situation and stuff. But don't do this by default. Just yes. Tuning MySQL. Just quick because we are running out of time. There are 4 main parameters. Query cache size. So well. The first thing we should remember, we don't want to touch the hard drive. We want to store as much as possible data in memory. So query cache size sets the cache size of our MySQL. So queries, we done a query, got results. So why to do the same query again? So MySQL will put results in cache and will go back to this query if someone just opened the same page. So we want to set this setting as big as possible as our just to save this data in memory. InnoDB buffer pool size caches indexes. So we have indexes. They are great, but if we don't feed them in our memory, they are going to be read from the disk, so we don't want that. So, and table cache, also it handles open tables in memory. So you just go to the Google, write MySQL optimization, and you will get lots of different interesting material. You can spend weeks, and as I told, there are people who call DBAs, and they study this topic very hard, and they got their certificates, they earn lots of money just because they know how to optimize databases. Tune your Apache, I won't just go, just remember that you can tune your Apache. So we won't stop on every of these settings. I wrote everything there, so if you will want, you can download this presentation and just go to Google and read about that, just like that. And one of the last thing is, well, there can be, time will come, and really for the great project, this time will come very fast, when you will have to separate your stacks. So on one server you will have code, on the another server you will have media, and on the third server you will have a database, and then you will just multiply these servers depending on your load. And one of the first moves is to move your media to CDN, or move your media to separate server, as I told. So who knows what CDN is? Okay, so I won't going to tell about that, but really CDN is a great thing, and every social network, every serious project uses from CDN. Yeah, it takes load of your web server, and you can tune Apache to serve only PHP. And it makes sense, really, because by default Apache is tuned to serve everything. But you want it to tune only for doing one thing. And the last tip is to move search from database to Solr. Anyone heard about Solr? Okay, great. So Solr is the most popular technology, I guess, just like that. So yeah, Solr is great, even if I'm not mistaken, Allegro uses Solr. Yes, yes, to search through their offers, and this is very quick search, and it's nicely integrated with Drupal. Just download Search API module and go from that, and you will get extra results, really. So just explore this thing. Well, and the last tip is optimize, measure by using tools I told you, and repeat, because you can't excel so fast. You just, all the time you will have some reason to optimize more, to save money on your servers, to make your pages faster, and to make your users happier. Thank you very much. So maybe one question. Does anyone has a question? Yes?
How do you optimize sites that can't be cached very well for anonymous users? For example, if you have many search queries or like a shop or something that has very complex structure of the content.
But we are talking about anonymized?
Yeah, anonymous users.
Yeah, anonymous users. Well, you can install Varnish, and it will take the load of your server for sure. And the Varnish is great because you can split Varnish among lots of servers. You can have 5 servers for handling cache. So, and your server will be protected by Varnish. And this is the most obvious technology to use.
I guess there was a mistake on the side. Could you show one more time the slide with Varnish?
Varnish?
Yes.
Mistake, which mistake?
There was written it is good for authorized users, I guess.
What? Really? No, just I was in rush, so you know. Anonymous.
So maybe the next one.
Okay, we are not on exam, so I think it's not so.
Okay.
It's not so important, yes. But thank you. I will look through my slides, and if there is a mistake, I will correct it because I want to make these slides available. It will be available on my blog, timonweb.com, and it will be available on my SlideShare account, so you can use. And just write down my contact details. If you have some questions, just go there, write me a message, and we'll talk. If you have a problem with your project, so just, okay, let me know. So, thank you very much again, and have a nice time.